My father's revenge on the man who harassed his sister. I lost my dad 20 days ago, so the grief is still fresh. I'm not even sure if I'm legally allowed to tell this story, but now that he's gone, I don't think it can hurt anyone anymore. My father was my hero in a lot of ways. He was an incredible storyteller and had dozens of wild stories, but this one was always my favorite. My dad was the youngest of 9 siblings, 6 brothers and 2 sisters. He adored his family, and they all spoiled him because he was the baby of the house. But he also had a violent temper, the kind that exploded fast. Unfortunately, I inherited that from him too. When he was 19, his second oldest sister, I'll call her S, married a military man. Her husband was stationed near the border. We're Indian, so like in many traditional households, my aunt moved in with her husband's family. The problem was her older brother-in-law. Let's call him A. Absolute piece of shit. A was a thug, a racketeer, huge guy, almost 2 meters tall, built like a tank, and notorious for violence. Nobody in the village wanted problems with him, especially women. After the wedding, he became obsessed with my aunt. He harassed her constantly and tried to pressure her into sleeping with him. His family did nothing. This went on for weeks. My aunt was emotionally destroyed, exhausted from constantly defending herself. Eventually, she broke down and confessed everything to one of her nephews, who was around 18 at the time. That nephew ran straight to my father in tears and told him what was happening. My dad completely lost it, but he also knew he couldn't take this guy alone. So he gathered a few friends and older nephews, and together they came up with a plan. Honestly, calling it a plan is generous. The plan was basically, beat the hell out of him until he gets the message. The problem was, sober, none of them could handle him. So they waited until evening, when he usually got drunk. For courage, they got drunk too. They hid in the dark alleys of the village waiting for him. Back then there were barely any streetlights. The second day appeared, they jumped him. 6 drunk young men against 1 giant. Even wasted, they fought like an animal. And to make things worse, some of his friends were with him too, which my father hadn't expected. It turned into a full-blown street brawl. At one point, my dad, drunk, furious, and completely out of control, grabbed a wooden plank from the side of the road and smashed it across A's head with everything he had. Then they all ran. Someone had already called for backup, and apparently 6 drunk idiots couldn't think of a smarter escape plan. My father somehow made it home, washed up, and went to sleep. The next morning, he told my grandmother the fight had gone horribly wrong. Right in the middle of the conversation, one of his brothers burst in and told him the police were looking for him. Turns out A survived long enough to give a statement from the hospital. My grandmother told my dad to disappear for a while. He hid for some time before eventually turning himself in because, according to him, I was tired of eating shitty food while hiding. He literally walked into the police station and demanded proper meals. The case eventually got dropped. A survived the attack, but not for long. The head injury my father gave him led to complications, and a few months later, he died. My dad told this story many times throughout his life. He never showed a single ounce of regret. He always ended it the same way. After that, no woman in our village ever suffered because of him again. I miss my father, and I'm sure he had dozens more stories like this one that I'll never get to hear anymore.